I was at the store getting a couple things and I seen a flyer for a missing persons taped up outside. This is the flyer that I'm talking about. This is for a 28-year-old missing woman named Gretchen Fleming. As you can see, reward up to $100,000. And so basically she is missing from the Parkersburg area. I have never heard of her story before, so I looked her up online, and it appears to have been a pretty big story because several other YouTubers have spoke about it, true crime YouTubers. And normally I don't delve into cases too much where it's been talked about a lot. But since I'm here in Parkersburg, we're gonna talk about the Gretchen Fleming case. So without further ado, let's get rolling. On December 3rd of 2022, it's about 1:15 p.m. and 27-year-old Gretchen Fleming is being dropped off by her grandmother here at the Grand Central Mall here in Vienna. She works at the H&M store. She goes to work, does her shift, gets off, and she's gonna meet up with a friend because they're gonna go to a bar not very far from where we're currently located at. Now, Gretchen originally is from the Parkersburg, West Virginia area, but she had moved to North Carolina. She hadn't been back in West Virginia for too long. She moved back here to be closer to her grandparents, and she had been going through a little bit of turmoil in her life. First of all, her mother just recently died. And number two, she got out of a long-term relationship. She had just broken up with somebody, so possibly she's wanting to come back to West Virginia, I'm sure for other reasons, to be closer to family and friends. So that evening, December 3rd, 2022, Gretchen and a friend of hers, they decide to go to the My Way Lounge. It's that building right in the middle of your screen across the street. It's no longer called that. It's under a different name. So they come here that night, and here's where things get a little bit sketch in terms of information. There's not a whole lot of information. All I do know is that when Gretchen Fleming is at this bar right here, she's talking to a man by the name of Preston Pierce. He's 55 years of age. So they're talking, and according to people who were at this bar that evening, I guess Gretchen's friend is talking to other people that Gretchen may not know, so she's kind of like the fifth wheel out on that. So Gretchen is sitting in this bar right here, and she's talking to this Preston Pierce guy. Now, according to investigators, they believe that sometime during the night that both Gretchen and Preston Pierce both left this bar. Now, when they leave, there is surveillance video of them leaving the bar. However, there's no surveillance video of Gretchen getting into the vehicle with Preston Pierce. That night, Gretchen Fleming did not return home. Now, here's where the story gets really sour. The family, of course, expecting Gretchen to come home. She doesn't come home. She doesn't show up the next day, or the following day, or the following day. They would not report her missing for 8 days. 8 days. Now, they say the reason why they didn't report her missing for so long is because, well, not saying that Gretchen was a free spirit, but that she would often stay gone for a couple days, hanging out at her friend's house. But 8 days, I mean, I would be concerned after 4, but that's just me. The next day, December 4th, 2022, the friend that Gretchen had went to the bar with, he comes back to the bar to turn in her purse. I believe she left it in his car. So now it's been 8 days. Now, all of a sudden, now they're putting in a missing persons report. And of course, they know that the person that she was last seen with was Daryl Lott, fake name Preston Pierce, 55-year-old creep. Let's talk about this clown really quickly. This guy is a former law enforcement official. His career spanned about 12 years. He's worked for several different departments around this county. Now, some of this is hearsay, but it looks to make sense. This guy has been fired from several jobs for being a grade A certified creepazoid. Parkersburg Police Department contact fake name Preston Pierce, real name Daryl Lott. Contact him and ask him if he's seen Gretchen Fleming. And he says, oh yeah, I met her at a bar. Now, whatever he said to them, they're not saying what he said, but basically the story goes that he's being very evasive and inconsistent with his statements when talking to the police. He's saying that they were both drinking, maybe drank a little bit too much, and supposedly he drops her off in downtown Parkersburg, which is where we're walking at right now. Now, this is hearsay. Somebody on a Facebook post said that they know from somebody who knows from somebody that he claims that he would have dropped her off at the police department, which is located in the municipal building right here. Police aren't saying that. Police are not talking about whether that is true or not. Police are not talking at all. So they would later conduct a search warrant at his residence and also at a storage unit that he owned. They also got a search warrant for his vehicle and also for his electronic devices. Now, at the recording of this video, it's been practically almost 2 years now since the disappearance of Gretchen Fleming. Now, let's talk about how much of a freaking creep this fake name Preston Pierce, real name Daryl Lott is. First of all, normally when people get jobs with law enforcement, it's usually a career and they usually retire from that. So this guy only lasts in law enforcement for 12 years. Now, it is of course rumored that he got fired from these jobs for not only sexually harassing women, but talking inappropriately to children. Why would you change your name from Daryl Lott to Preston Pierce? It's because you have something to hide, because you're a freaking creep. What 27-year-old woman is gonna go home with some 55-year-old slob? Let's just call it what it is. I wanna read some posts on Facebook that talk about how much of a creep this guy is. Check this out. This post is from 2017. Warning, do not buy, sell, trade anything with this man. His real name is Daryl Lott. He will agree on a price and then tell you you can pay him the rest of what he was asking for the item later. Then he will want to meet with you ladies without your husband, and when you decline, will blast you on Facebook. You will block him and he will obsess about you for 2 years and then blast you again. So that's already showing that this guy is a creep. Check this one out. He went by Daryl Lott when he was a police officer in my hometown of Ravenswood. He was a creeper. Here's another one. I worked with him briefly. Everyone got bad, creepy vibes from him, even other guys. He was always trying to talk to me. He got fired for sexual harassment, essentially. One of the creepiest people I've ever met. Here's another one. If it's the same Lott from out Stanton Avenue, then about 20 years ago, he attacked his niece, who was about 14 at the time. She was 14 when it happened. He beat the crap out of her father, his relative, almost killing him. Now, that one, how many Daryl Lotts are there going to be? So I can't substantiate whether that's true or not, but that's just a few of the posts that I've read about this creep. I mean, I could probably make this video a little bit longer talking about all the creepy nonsense that this guy has been up to. So again, almost 2 years now since this story has unfolded, and supposedly, again guys, when you start going on Facebook, or a lot of true crime YouTubers' favorite tool to create drama, Reddit, when you start going down these rabbit holes, then you start spouting out a bunch of conspiracies, and I don't want to turn this channel into that, but I do have to say that 2 years, you have essentially no arrest made in this case. She, by all intents and purposes, is probably dead. I mean, it's going to be practically impossible that this woman is still alive unless he's keeping her captive in some kind of prison cell in a basement. Somebody had posted that his family owns a huge lot of land somewhere outside of Parkersburg. I don't know whether that's true or not, but she could be anywhere. I mean, absolutely anywhere. And like I said, they did a search warrant of his home. Obviously, they didn't find enough evidence, because right now there's enough evidence to arrest him. He could be arrested right now. You know, they were probably hoping that they could arrest him for something that he did and then later have some time to delve more into the case to bring charges against him. But right now, they probably looked for blood, they probably looked for DNA, and they were unable to find it. So right now, his address is all over online. It looks like he has either sold his home or he's renting it out, because you can see on the screen right now, all of a sudden after this case started happening, he's having a fire sale of all his stuff. He's selling his couch, he's selling his gun safe, he's selling his bandsaw. I mean, he's selling all of this stuff because he's probably making his way out of town. So who the hell knows where this ugly clown is right now? But bare minimum, this guy knows what happened to Gretchen Fleming, and I'll just come out and say it. I'm pretty certain, almost 100%, that he killed her. And Lord only knows where she's currently at right now. And, you know, listen, I don't want to be the one to always say, you know, when missing people, like, oh, they're dead. But obviously in this case, I mean, come on, a 27-year-old woman, you know, no longer using her social media, no longer using any kind of bank accounts. I mean, what's going on? And this piece of filth human being claiming that, you know, this girl, oh, I dropped her off. Yeah, right. I got a couple questions about this case. Number one, did she go willingly with him? Did he possibly drop something in her drink where she was kind of acting loopy and she just followed him? I couldn't find anything in regards to if anybody from the bar was saying that Gretchen was acting strangely. I didn't see anything of the kind. Police do believe, even though there is no surveillance video of it, they do believe that she in fact did get into his car and she did go to his home. Cameras around the area did pick up fake name Preston Pierce, real name Daryl Lott's car as it was making the 5 mile or so drive back to his home. I do not know in the video if you can see Gretchen, but if they strongly feel that she in fact went to his home, then I can only imagine that they seen her in that car with that creeping loser, that piece of, you know, I got some names I'd love to call this guy, but I do not cuss on this channel. And it's a damn shame that they can't arrest this guy, but there would be no point in arresting him right now to charge with her murder, because, guys, you get a jury here in Wood County and they're looking at the evidence in this case. There's no body, there's no DNA, but then again, I don't know. This is just hearsay. I have no idea. I'm surprised that I never even heard of this case, because it's, you know, gotten so much media attention, but, you know, I oftentimes don't go looking for newer cases. I kind of just do stuff that's happened years and years ago. So, well, I will be keeping an eye on this case, and will update probably on my other channel as time progresses. So anyways, I'll catch up with you on the next video. Peace out.